And so my name's Kate Forshaw. I am the Family and Community Project Worker. I think that's my title. But I work at the Hub attached to Oasis Academy. And tomorrow, Thursday, at the Hub, Oasis Media City, we're going to do a clothes swap. It's our first one, so it's a bit of a suck it and see test event. But it's one of those events that we'd like people to bring clothes to get clothes. So it's a really old-fashioned swap. It's not about getting rid of your old rubbish clothes, it's about getting rid of kind of just unloved and unwanted, really nice items of clothing. Men, women, anything in between, anything is welcome. We're not doing kids as yet, but it's just a nice clothes wear event. It's got eco sort of credentials behind it, but also just trying to instill the sense of let's see what's out there already rather than just going out to buy stuff, really.
Nice. And where did you get the idea from?
It's kind of a bit of zeitgeist, isn't it? It's kind of one of those things that a lot of people are doing at the moment. So one of our main pushes at the Hub is just to try and engage the community as well as the school. So we've got a lot of the pupils from school that are really keen on sort of fashion and eco-fashion and what they can do kind of environmentally. So it's just a really good way of kind of engaging the community at large, that community outside, with what's happening at school and with what young people are trying to kind of push forward, really.
Nice. And so you've got, so because it's your first one, do you have like plans for more in the future? Are you going to see how this one goes?
It's, definitely. I mean, I think it's always got, I think me and everyone else who's connected with the Hub and school, it's always worth trying things for the first time, you know, and it kind of shows, also it shows kind of young people that it doesn't matter to fail. You know, don't be scared of trying new things. What's the worst that can happen? So we'll try it this week. We'd love there to be a queue of people outside with all their garments in hand. But if there's not, we'll definitely do another one after Christmas. And we might expand things. We might make it a monthly swap shop. We might kind of make it a kind of monthly or bi-weekly event sort of thing. So we just want to try and instill that sense of don't chuck things in landfill. You know, whatever you don't want could be gold to somebody else. And if we can be a hub for that, then great.
Nice. And you said before, like building community is an important thing for you with this event. Do you mind like expanding on that and what you want to achieve?
I think the Oasis Hub is all about kind of linking up with the community and trying to support the community around us. So there's not, we're not the only Oasis Hub. There's Oasis Hubs attached to schools a lot of time, but there's 53 schools across the country, 53 academies. And so we're all about just trying to, support the community around us. We're all better working together. It's not just us doing things in isolation. So we know that there's Emmaus up the road, for example, the homeless charity, that will provide crisp packet blankets for. So, we try and work with people in our communities. It's not just about us coming to say we're bigger, louder, newer. We try and work with what the needs are around us, really, and listen to that. So it's about listening to the community around us, what the gaps are, what we can do to fill it.
Yeah. And do you think it's important that like young people play a part in that?
I think for us, young people are essential to it, especially because we're attached to a secondary school, an academy. So we've got, so obviously in this building, as we're talking to you, there are young people learning lots of things from the age of 11 to 16, so year 7 upwards. There's a lot of primary schools that are kind of feeder primary schools and schools from all over Salford, really. So it's just about listening to what's out there. It's not about the Hub coming in to say, we know what you need. We want to do it together. Yeah. So I talk to the cleaners at school a lot and they'll suggest things to me like doing Christmas wreaths and, it's all about us working together, isn't it? Yeah. Really.
No, yeah, it sounds great. I think it'll be really popular after Christmas as well. I feel like people will be, with their presents.
Well, I think so. And I think it's one of those things that, we can really learn from history or, so I'm fairly old. And so I remember like multiple swap shop on a Saturday morning And that was a brilliant idea. So that was, you know, Saturday morning TV in the 80s, early 80s, Noel Edmonds, and we'd do a Saturday swap shop. And it was like, you know, Barry in Basingstoke would swap his Scale Electric for Sabutio in Oldham, kind of thing. Or someone in Little Alton's got something that someone in London desperately wants, they'd swap it. It was brilliant.
Yeah, and I guess a big thing about it as well is that, like, it's sort of, you know, with a shop you're sort of limited by how much money you have, you know, how much you're able to spend.
Yeah.
This is for everyone.
Yeah. And it's I suppose it's, and like I said, we're kind of just jumping on the bandwagon for lots of things. It's one of those real movements, I think. But it's just looking at what exists already, what we can reuse and repurpose, rather than just going out and just consuming and rather just buying stuff, you know. And especially at a time like Christmas, you know, does there something else exist that we can sort of reuse or repurpose, even like it's, you know, if we're upcycling stuff, you know, so that's something that we could expand this into. And then maybe, you know, maybe we'll get someone in to kind of advise people about how they can upcycle something. But it's all about, you know, that whole thing about reuse, recycle, and try and sort of, you know, do amend even. It's all those kind of like sustainable things that we should all be doing, you know, that might take a bit more faff. Like I spent this morning and last night trying to borrow clothes rails, you know, and try and collect hangers from me and my neighbours rather than just going out and buying them.
Yeah.
So it's just, which takes a bit more effort, and the back of my car is filled with clothes rails now. But that's what we kind of should be doing really. So it's trying to sort of lead by example without just preaching, actually do it.